Getty. Karen Pierce took aim at Russia and Mr. Putin, asking what have Russians got to fear? Karen Pierce, UK ambassador and permanent representative to the United Nations in New York, took aim at Russia via a Sherlock Holmes analogy after its failed attempt to have their scientists join the OPCW investigation. In a briefing to reporters ahead of the UN Security Council meeting, she said, allowing Russian scientists into an investigation when they are the most likely perpetrators of the crime in Salisbury would be like Scotland Yard inviting in Professor Moriarty, so I don't think that's a tenable way forward. Ms. Pierce later said she feared the Russians are aiming to build a narrative of how they won't accept the OPCW results when they emerge, adding, "We as UK having nothing to hide, we look forward to the report, which will be given to us as the requesting state party. We ask what have the Russians got to fear?" Her comments come as British Security Minister, Ben Wallace, insisted that it would soon be beyond a reasonable doubt that Moscow carried out the attack on Sergei Skripal, 66, and his daughter, Yulia, 33, on March 4. Mr. Wallace's proclamation comes as Russia called for a meeting of the United Nations Security Council. Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said the UK has legitimate questions to answer about the nerve agent assault on the Skripals. But Mr. Wallace said that the investigation's roads lead to Russia as the UK sought to maintain diplomatic pressure on Moscow over the incident. Russia called a meeting of the Organization for the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons, OPCW, in The Hague on Wednesday to insist its experts must be involved in the testing program and probe, but it lost the vote after Britain told the extraordinary meeting the demand was a sign the Federation was nervous of what the inquiries will find. Getty. Ms. Pierce later said she feared the Russians are aiming to build their own narrative. Russian officials speaking after the meeting concluded said they had presented a common sense case and pointed to the lies by Tony Blair over Iraq as they criticized the intelligence about the attack. But Mr. Wallace told BBC Radio 4's Today program that comparisons to the flawed intelligence on weapons of mass destruction in Iraq were not valid. He said, "There's no missing nerve agent that no one can find, it was used in Salisbury, we had 3 people seriously ill, 2 obviously remain in hospital and critical condition, and there is no doubt that we have found nerve agent. That nerve agent has been identified to being manufactured, we believe, in Russia, and we believe that the nerve agent, the Novichok type of nerve agent, is only capable of being produced by a nation state, and then we add that to intelligence we hold, we add that to some of the police investigation that's going on right now, and we can say that roads lead to Russia, that we are beyond reasonable doubt of the view that the Russian state is behind this." The UK is carrying out widespread tests to uncover the truth. Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn has also raised the subject of the flawed intelligence and dodgy dossiers behind the Iraq invasion in his response to the Skripal case. Mr. Wallace said the Labour leaders had seen more intelligence than the average backbench MP because he had received a Privy Council briefing on the matter, but added, "The circle of who gets to see very sensitive information is very small because, if you leak it or it gets out, people's lives are put at risk." Foreign Secretary Boris Johnson, who has come under fire over his handling of the incident, has accused Mr. Corbyn of siding with the Russian spin machine. Yulia made her first public comments today since being poisoned in Britain last month. She said that her father was staging a recovery but was still in intensive care. She added that her strength was growing daily. She said, "I woke up over a week ago now and am glad to say my strength is growing daily. I am grateful for the interest in me and for the many messages of goodwill that I have received. I am sure you appreciate that the entire episode is somewhat disorientating, and I hope that you'll respect my privacy and that of my family during the period of my convalescence.